Greetings once again. I noticed that the last video didn't include the switch statement. So yeah, we're gonna do it today. Okay, for just a small recap, we did relational expressions. We did if-else statement, nested if statement, and we did if chance statements, and we're gonna do switch. Okay, all right, just for a recap, what is a relational expression? Is just an expression used to compare operands. Yeah, you know what is an operand? Yeah, so I explained this in deep. Okay, we saw relational operators. There is no relational expression without relational operators. We have less than, greater than, sorry, excuse me for that, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and not equal to. So we did all of them. All right. Okay, we saw also logical operators. I told you that there are many, but we will be covering and or not and how to call them in your code. We did it. Okay, if you don't remember, please go and check the previous video about code selection. Okay, and then from there, I tried to just check on precedence, operators precedences. Yeah, and I tried to demonstrate one equation, how the computer simulate everything. Whenever a computer is there, how is the computer sees or a compiler sees an equation, how it does. Okay, we saw an if statement, if else statement. Let me just get my hands dirty. Let me get a new project, but this one is gonna be called switch. We still have console, so this one will be switch. Okay, C++, cool. Yeah, I just wanna get my hand dirty before going around everything. Alright, I'll be putting here inside dev C++, not under selection, but I'll call it switch. Okay. Okay, maybe I can just put the switch inside selection. Alright. Because it's part of selections. Okay, good. Okay, let me just setting up my environment using namespace std stand for standard. You used this already, so okay, we did else if else statement where it's got if expression. Okay, else statement. Okay, if expression relational expression, obviously, and here it's gonna be statement else statement. All right, If the expression is true, then execute statement 1. If it's not true, the expression is not true, then execute expression 2 straight. So it's like that. So simple example, let me say int integer age. Let me initialize it to 16. Alright, and then I can use a relational expression, say age less than 18. 18 statement 1 is what? Out less than 18. You're a child. You still a child. Less than 80. 18 is still a child. Statement 2 else if it's greater or equal. So see out. You're mature. You are. You're a grown up. A grown up. You're a grown up. Okay. Always remember semicolon, because if you don't put it, there's gonna be an error. And I like to end the line. I love ending the line. I love ending the line for the sake of my code. So let's compile and see what is happening. This is just a recap, guys. This is just a recap. We check in. Okay, it's compiling. Yeah. Still compiling. It's taking time, but it's okay. I can wait. We can wait. Okay, 0 error and 0 something and 0 running. Good. So I can just run. You're still a child. Why? Because the expression returned false. Returned true, sorry. This expression returned true. Okay, let's see. It's 18 now. Okay, let me compile. The expression gonna be false because age is no longer less than 18, is equal to 18. Good. You're a grown up. That's an if else statement. I don't know if you got question about it on it. Please comment below. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe my channel. That's the only contribution that you can bring to this channel. And if you haven't liked it so that it can reach to a lot of people, and share with your friends and family for learning. Okay, I spoke about one way if statement, but let me talk about block, because last time I didn't talk about code block. Code block. Okay, let's say name. Let's say this is a string called name, and I'll call it ill. All right, and let's say I can display you're still a child. See out, or I can just do this. Can just combine it here. Switch hold ill name. All right, I can just remove this. Let's compile and see what's gonna happen. Yeah, zero error. Let me run. Okay, you're a grown up. Okay. Let me call it here and see what's gonna happen. Okay. I'm trying to treat you block, code block. Okay. Okay. It says. Okay. It says error function. Okay. Name was not in the scope. Okay. This is what I was saying. This is a code block. Code block. Whatever it is, uh, initializing this code in this block, in this curly braces, remain in the curly braces. It's not gonna work outside of the curly braces. I don't know if you get it. This is the scope of the variable name. The variable name can only work in between here and here. So if I want it to work in my second else, my second block called block, I just need to call it again here, and I can compile it. It does appear on all the two blocks, the first block and the second block. So it's zero error, zero warning, and I can run it, and you can see you're a grown up here. Okay, good. And when it's let me say 17, excuse me about that. I'm trying to explain code block. Right, so that next time you can be careful, and when you get an error you'll be like, oh, why am I getting an error? I did initialize the name. You see, it is you're still a child here, so I don't want to keep on repeating a variable over and over, and this is like I'm misusing my storage. Let me just make it global. Okay, global to what? To main function. I don't know if you understand. Global to main function. Why? It is in between the curly braces of main, so it's gonna work in this scope. This is a code block scope. It's gonna work in the scope of main. If I come outside, I create another function. I don't know, and I call this name. It's gonna tell me we don't know name. Why you calling name? We don't know name. Let's compile so that you can see that I don't lie to you. Okay, good. Let me not delay here, but yeah, I think code blocks it's really good. You can see zero errors are running, so it's pretty nice and good. It's pretty nice and good. Okay, good. You're still a child, so I can use it everywhere, as long as it's still in the block code of in function. So always have a practice of initializing your variable at the beginning of your code for control. You see, you grown up. So that's the code blocks. Okay, I spoke about one way. Okay, I can just even ignore this else and just compile it. Okay, is this false? Yes, it's equal to 18, so it's gonna be false. It's gonna be let me just say see out let me just end the line. It's okay. Okay, let me just make it be true. So let me make 15 so that it can be true. It can be true so that you can see that this one way can work also. We spoke about one way selection. Okay, let me run it. Okay, you're still a Charlie. So that's it about if our statement in one way. Okay, what else did we spoke about? We spoke about uh, the value that the expression does return. Does return 0 or 1. 0 stand for false, 1 stand for truth. So it's Boolean variable. That expression will never return other data type except bool. Hope I'm clear. Okay, we did nested if statement is just an if inside an if. And if you steal a child, and if you do what? And if your name is either is either it's a string. Excuse me for that. Is either down display and display all of this. Copy, Control V. Okay, you still a child. Okay, here I don't know yet the name, and your name is. I can just say, and your name is good. Good. Okay, let me compare. This is just nested ifs there, man. It's just if inside an if. Simple as that. Okay, so running. And boom, boom. You see the child in your name is here. So that's that. And we did if else chain. If else chain. This is the syntax of if else chain. I'm just doing a recap, guys. Uh, you see the child. If else. This is an if else chain. Else if. Alright. Else if, and you put expression name equals copy paste. Well, what's going on? Paste. Okay, you still is child plus your name. Okay, let's run and see what's happening. Just doing a recap. 0 errors, 0 running. Alright, you still a child. Good. So what it does, it executes the first expression. And if it's true, just ignore the rest. That's how the if chain works. I don't know if you guys are getting it. I can make like more and do the else. More interesting else. See out. Invalid. Invalid. Okay. Let's see, less than 18, so I'll make it greater than 18. So, or equal, let me do 19 and see what this must display. You're still a child. Okay, let me just do some modification here so I can display invalid. Okay, zero error, zero warning. Okay, you can see invalid. Why is it invalid? Because it did go to the through the first expression false, is ignoring the statement inside, go to the second expression false, it is ignoring the second statement and just display the default statement invalid. Hope you guys are getting it. If you got any question, please comment below. Ask your question, and I want you guys to tell me why is this expression false. The string name is ill, and here it's ill. Why is it still false? Please comment below and tell me why, and I'll be happy to see your comment. All right, I think then we'll go into our main uh topic that brought us here. Okay, switch statement. 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 Okay, good. Statement. Oh, what's the syntax? Okay, the syntax is you write switch and then expression, expression, and then case one, and then statement break, case two, case two, and then statement two, statement two, break, and so on, and until default. Default, and you write a statement for the default, statement for the default, and you break it. Simple as that. I don't know if you guys are getting it. Okay, let's go on our slides and see what is happening. Okay, switch statement. Okay, switch statement. It says what? It is an alternative of if-else chain for cases that involve comparing an integer expression with a specific value. Hope that is clear. Clear as water. It's just an alternative of if-else statement. Okay, let's go and see. Involve comparing an integer expression with a specific value. Okay, okay, what are we going to do then? We're gonna make it says what that involve comparing an integer expression. Let's see an integer expression. Integer expression that can be an operator. Operator.